Jason Kendall. Been a while since I've spoken to him. He's a former All-Star Catcher. How many years? 15? 15 years in the show. What are you doing now?
I'm actually a special assignment coach with the Royals.
Okay.
So I'm still into it. But before we get into anything, I think I saw the real Buttermaker last week. You guys were talking earlier. I was back in the green room about the walk is
Bad
just
News
as good as
Bears.
a hit.
Yeah, Bad News Bears.
Well,
Buttermaker.
and walk. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I'm watching one of my son's games, and behind me, it was your typical Little League game where the parents are yelling at each other and nobody's even watching the game.
Yeah.
And their coach, and this is honest to God's truth, their coach says, guys, we need to get somebody on base right now. Get hit by a pitch, please. And I look at my wife and I go, what? Did you hear that? So getting back to your walk's better than hit. This guy actually and he was serious. He told these kids to go get hit. They're 12.
Okay. Now here you are as a former major leaguer. Are you coaching your kids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Parents are the worst. That's the worst part of Little League. It feels like the parents.
Without a doubt.
Okay. How tough is it for you as a former player, an all-star, to be able to teach without the other parents kind of saying, no, maybe this is how it should be done?
Very, very fortunate. My Little League team, the Spikes is what we're called. I have the best parents ever. I have not had one problem with anybody. I don't know if it's because of the tattoos that I have or not, but
how many
I don't
tattoos?
know if I scared them. Well, but I think that's
you got sleeves?
Oh, I have. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I got. So I think that when I have, they think I look a little bit crazy. But no, I have unbelievable parents.
Okay.
But other parents, they're nuts. I could tell you stories that you would be like, are you kidding me? I mean, just like the Buttermaker one. He was dead serious when he told that kid.
Give me a story without any names.
About Little League.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we come back by 11 runs. 11 runs in the ninth inning, and we win. Or seventh inning, I guess it'd be.
Yeah.
And the other team, I couldn't tell you where they're from, we're walking out, and the head coach was cursing at these kids because he couldn't believe. And when I mean cursing, pretty good.
Tongue
a lot.
lashing.
So I had to go over there, and I said, hey, you know what? This is unacceptable, number one, because you have grandparents, you have parents, siblings walking by, and I mean, it was F-bomb after F-bomb. And so I went over and I said, hey, listen, dude, what you need to do is get out of here because you're embarrassing yourself, but more importantly, you're embarrassing your kids. I mean, and that's just one. I mean, there's another one.
So this isn't even your team.
No. This is another team. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was another one where a kid forgot to tag up from second base, fly ball right field, and he got thrown out, and their third base coach is yelling at him. I says, well, instead of yelling at this kid, why don't you just tell him that, when the guy catches the ball in the air, you have to step on and then that's called tagging up. Instead of yelling at him, these kids don't know.
But when did we get to the point where coaching became yelling?
When parents are living vicariously through their kids.
But even, like coaches professionally, that if I want to say something to my kids, I want to get through to them. But yelling does not get through to them. Mm-mm. But man, if I say you really disappointed me,
that's a good one.
Or just talk to them. And so if I yell at you, I just feel like at some point you tune me out, and I don't know.
Or you're going to snap.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah, but it's not a good look when you see. And look, there are legendary coaches who have done this, but it just feels like when you go to argue balls and strikes, and you see a manager go toe to toe with an umpire. What is that for? Like
more than anything, protecting the player.
But can I say something to the umpire in a way that doesn't have to be a show?
Mm-hmm. And if you have a catcher who is actually running the game, is prepared, they do the talking for you. Now, when you see, and you don't even see managers getting ejected now because of instant replay. But there's an occasion where something might. But when you see a manager arguing now, it's all for protecting the player. They have to, which you have to stand up for your players, whether you're right or wrong.
But how do you give the message to an umpire as a catcher?
I have
straight ahead, just don't even look back at him.
First thing I always said when I went out to, hey, Bob, how's the wife and kids? I've had beers and I'm telling you, that goes a long way because these guys have a difficult job if you think about it.
Wait, you've had beers with umpires?
Oh yeah, I mean, like spring training, and lunch. When I take it out, I mean, they're good guys for the most part. And there's a couple out there, but that's just how it is everywhere. But these guys, you got to think about it. I think they get two-week vacations a season, I believe. I'm not sure. But, I mean, you're going 3 days. You live out of a hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to Colorado. You're going to San Diego. You're going to Milwaukee. I mean, these guys got it. So when I caught, I developed a relationship with them. And trust me, come the 7th inning, I might get that borderline pitch. And I'm talking about offensively that a lot of other players don't have. But, I mean, you are in a conversation from the first pitch to the last.
Best hitter you saw?
Best hitter I saw, Barry Bonds.
So when Bonds comes to the plate and you're catching, what are you calling?
You're looking at feet. You're looking at feet. You're looking at any way. He was playing. He was like us going and playing wiffle ball with 6-year-olds. That's how good he was at one point. I know.
You say you're looking at his feet,
hands, and I had an advantage as far as calling a game. Now, just with Barry Bonds, you just hope he gets himself out. I remember with Tony Gwynn, here, throw a 4-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he didn't know what to do with it. He could do anything else with everything else, but
because he wasn't used to getting.
He wasn't used to getting something right down the plate. Bonds, you just kind of walk him. But yeah, the good hitters, they change. Everybody says they change night by night or day by day. No, they change pitch by pitch. So the best hitter I say Barry Bonds, just because he was one of those guys where you heard the bat go through the zone. It was.
Oh, you heard the whoosh.
And you're pretty good when you can hear that.
Best pitcher you either caught or faced?
Well, for a 3-month period, CC Sabathia, when I was in Milwaukee, when he got traded over from the Cleveland Indians, this guy was unbelievable. And he pitched on 3 days rest.
Milwaukee was getting everything they could out of CC.
And you know what? And he wanted it. And that's what, I mean, this was a guy that was getting ready to go to free agent. He was a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get $100 million plus contract. He went out there every day. What a unbelievable teammate. Unbelievable. He was larger than life. I guarantee you, I know he has gone back to Milwaukee since. I guarantee he gets a standing O. This guy, what he did in that 3 months was unbelievable. So for a 3-month period of time, it was him.
What about at the plate? Did you ever feel like I shouldn't even be up here with this guy?
No.
You wouldn't allow yourself to think that?
Never. And the guys that I had a hard time with were the guys that would just get called up. I will never forget. I think it was my last year playing, and I did look up at the scoreboard, and I looked up, and it said, Kendall, 0 for 24. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. And I still to this day, but I was 0 for 24, and I hit a hard ground ball up the middle, hit off the mound of the shortstop, out. So it was 0 for 25. I couldn't tell you the guy's name.
Is that how you ended your career?
No. But I mean, it was just one of those things.
I was going to say.
Trust me, these guys, when you go up to the plate, you're looking at the scoreboard. That's what you see 230, you should be embarrassed, in my opinion. I mean, but now everybody's hitting 230, 240.
Oh, yeah, they don't care now.
They don't care now, which I don't know. To me, it's.
Is analytics good for baseball or bad for baseball?
I think it is. It's the same thing that I don't know all the analytics. I can't say good. What I used it for were counts guys ran on. Counts guys, I mean, these guys are creatures of habit, that whether they know it or don't. You're going to swing a 1-1 count pitch more than you will a 2-1. You don't even think about it, but it just happens. So I looked at counts a lot, and I would be at the ballpark at 1 o'clock every day. So I didn't have to have my pitcher do this, call a game. I did it for him. And once you get that trust in a pitcher, boy, it's fun. But I was getting all that information. Okay, Joe Mauer swings 70%, whatever, on a 2-1 pitch. You take that and you use it. Is it always going to pop up? No, but Joe Mauer, talking about a good hitter, if he hit a 2-1 changeup 2 months ago, and he gets in that against a certain pitcher, and he gets in that same count a month later, he's looking for that pitch, and that's where you pop that heater, and that's what the best part about catching is. And if these guys just watch the game today, you know what catcher is prepared and what catcher is not prepared, because if you get a big tall lefty up there, all right, then you get a 2-1 sinker, and then another big tall lefty's up there, he's going to probably throw another sinker. They're not prepared as much as it used to be.
Is Molina heads above everybody else?
Without a doubt. Him, Kurt Suzuki. Everybody wants to know why the Braves are doing so good. Kurt Suzuki has the staff in the palm of his hands.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Lucroy, Oakland. I say those two, and I worked with them quite a bit, but no one has dropped Kurt Suzuki's name yet.
No.
And this staff, it's a young staff, but the Braves aren't going anywhere.
It's a big surprise.
They're going to be
they
there.
Played well. Yeah. Jason Kendall is with us, former baseball player, 15 years, three-time All-Star, and I think you're fifth all-time hit by pitch. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. Is there one that stands out? Like it's 200 and how many? Paulie, how many times? Do you know how many times you were hit?
It was 250 something.
Paulie,
he's at 254, and Jason, you're third all time in hit by pitches per season in Major League history. Third all time.
Is there one that you remember?
There's probably two that I remember. One is Danny Graves hit me in the head.
Oh,
with a 95 mile an hour fastball. But I remember after the locker room, he called over and we had some more exchange. He was apologizing. The other one's Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown, when he was throwing 98 I swear, and he must have hit me, I don't know, 2-3 times. It would hit in my bicep and it would.
wait.
And when it does that, you throw hard and that ball's moving a lot.
Wait, it was spinning
I swear.
while it was still.
And then it would drop. Those are the ones that you remember.
Did you try to get hit? How often did you try to get hit?
But the scouting report on me was pitch me inside. That was the report on me. I had an inside-out swing. I did wear an L-pad. After it got to the point to where I started getting contusions on my bicep, so the trainers made me wear the pad. And then how many times did I try to get hit? I just wouldn't get out of the way. And it was more so I can get up out of the way right here and get smoked at the ribs and have a broken rib, or I can have a bruise on my bicep. But scouting report was hard in, hard in, hard in. And if it's too hard in, he's going to go to first base.
Where's the game going? What concerns? Because I brought this up that growing up there was movement with the game. You would move the runner over. No, there's no movement. It's either I'm going to strike you out or you're going to try to hit a home run. And we're missing. If I'm a kid watching, I would not be interested. I'd be interested with the jugs gun, and I'd be interested in BP. But I don't know if I'd be interested in the game itself because there's not enough movement there.
It's a great question. And I guess the answer that I would have for that, and it makes me sick too, when you have a runner on second with a 1-1 tie game in the seventh inning or whatever, and you see guys hooking balls into the left field bleachers, it makes me sick to my stomach. That, I believe, that's something that your manager or your hitting coach or somebody, the bench coach, should be taking care of instantly, or if you have a veteran presence in the locker room. I know that, and I'm going to say this in two different parts, and I'll just give an example. Joey Gallo, I saw the Astros about a month ago. I don't know Joey Gallo, but there was the shift where there's only a left fielder. Everybody else was on the right side. But it wasn't like it was a 0-0 ball game. And he ended up rolling over to the second baseman or who was in right field. If I'm a Joey Gallo's teammate right there, I'm saying you're a selfish player. To me, that's a selfish player because you have a free. And listen, if you're in the big leagues, you can take a bunt and drop it down
the
finish line. These guys are that good.
Yeah.
They're that good.
Yeah.
You can even turn around before the game, pop it. And getting back to if I had a 214, 215 batting average,
yes,
I'm trying to get that thing up. But that being said, I think when these guys get drafted, they're robots. They are complete robots. So they don't know any better. I don't think it's just an ego thing. I'm going to try to beat this shit. But somebody has to tell them. What needs to happen, in my opinion, is there's great analyticals. There's great old school guys. There needs to be a middleman.
Yeah.
And they figure it out but that's what I think.
Umpire with the best third strike call was who?
Tom Hallion, especially when he blows his back out. I think he blew his back out, I believe, on one call.
Now, he would give you the double shoulder blade. Like he'd turn his back.
He was the Leslie Nielsen on the Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah?
It was.
Have you heard my third strike call?
Oh, I want to hear it.
Ha!
Love it.
What do you think?
I love it.
But I got to get, it's one left hand is ha! It's ripping the phone book is what I like to do. So I turn, ha! So it's just like that.
I love it.
Paulie, you want to do yours? Do you?
I don't have one, Dad. I like yours too much.
Seton, do you have one?
I don't think I can have that.
I always loved Ken Kaiser,
Uh-huh.
where you could be busting your butt to try to stretch a single into a double, and then you get tagged out like 5 feet, and it just always felt like Ken Kaiser would just like his left arm would go down like you're so sad, you're out. Like he'd just be kind of ha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, Fritzy.
Wasn't Dutch Renner very theatrical,
Yeah,
like on every strike? I don't know how he kept up that energy.
Dutch
for all of
Renner
it.
was, because you can't do it on all the strikes. But that last one, when I'm punching you out,
Oh, it better be
I
something
got to bring
special.
some noise.
Absolutely. But what's embarrassing is when they do it with 2 strikes, because that has happened. They forget. But then they probably do it twice.
Oh yeah, and then they'll do it right after that. Good luck. I don't know if you're going to be an analyst or you want to do that, but coaching.
I'm trying to figure out the Little League coaching thing right now.
So
I could
so
do
once
what
you mastered Little League,
Well, the big leagues, I got that down.
you do?
I already got that down. But the Little League, I got to try to figure that out first. And yeah, if I could ever get one of those gigs where you work once a week, those are the good ones.
yeah,
But
they're hard to come by.
Baseball's it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I think so.
Would you show us some plays at the plate during the break here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like old school. Like if we're coming in.
Yeah, I'll crush you guys.
Yeah. Worst collision you ever saw at home plate?
That I ever saw?
Were you involved in?
I've been in some, but you know what? It goes back to the Buster Posey rule. I don't know how much time we have, but nobody ever said Buster Posey was set up the wrong way. And I guarantee you, if it wasn't Buster Posey, there'd probably still be collisions at the plate. Now, I'm all for the safety of the players, absolutely. But that's something you learn early. I mean, if you got a home plate, you instantly, the second there's a runner on base or whatever, and there's a base hit in the outfield, you put your left foot on top of third, or top of home plate that's going straight down the third baseline. Your knee's stabilized. You go look at that Buster Posey play, and I haven't seen this in a while, but I'm pretty sure he's out in front of the plate, and if he's back a foot, he's not getting that short hop. He's letting the ball, but his foot or his knee stays there. He tags and he gets out. But the thing is that's the play at the plate is, as a catcher, it doesn't matter if there's a guy running that's 5'2", 120 pounds. You're not going to win. So when you do have the ball, and my old man taught me this a long time ago, when you have a chance to get somebody, you get them. You take that ball, you put it right in the glove, and you pop them right in the jaw. And I guarantee you they won't do it again. And they won't, trust me. But Buster Posey, if he catches that ball, he has time. I think it was just one of those plays. I believe it was the 12th or 13th inning. Cousins didn't, I think it was Cousins. Cousins didn't try to hurt him. It was just, he was a young kid. It was a bang-bang play at the plate in a late inning tie ball game.
Who ran into you?
Sheffield knocked me pretty good.
Gary Sheffield, pretty strong guy.
We had gotten in a brawl the year before.
So he was going after you?
Yeah. As well, and what I said in the, I think in the paper afterwards was either it was one of those first and third moves, which they're not even in there anymore. And it was one of those plays where you either run me over or just let me tag you and get out. I had the ball well. He jumped around me and hit me in the head, and I was actually in Los Angeles, and they punked me in front of my parents.
Oh.
So we ended up getting into it, but the next year, it was a ball, center field, I believe, Brian Giles. It was one of those plays, and it was on this side, and he got me good. It was the third out. I held onto the ball. But I kept saying the same three things over and over. He's just mad because we got into it last year. Did we win the game? And Gene Lamont was the manager at the time, and he'd been in a wheelchair for 2 weeks. His back blew out. And I said, "What are you doing in a wheelchair?"
So you were out of
it. And I went out, struck out the next at bat, and then I went to the mound. There's a guy got on. I can't remember who was pitching, and said, "Hey, what are the fundamental signs?" Meaning like throwing the first, throwing the slide step. And he called out our bench coach and said, "Get him out of here." The thing about that then is, I was at home and I was staying at home. My brother had to take me to the hospital at night to that night to get checked out
for concussion.
And the trainers and then they didn't do that. And I remember I called Gene Lamont at 3 a.m. I said, "I'll tell you what, you better put me in the game that next day," because I said, "I'm playing. I'm not letting him do that." And I ended up playing. I had zero. There's no way. I got 2 hits. It was off Chan Ho Park. I do remember that, but no way I should have been playing.
especially after suffering a concussion and being in the hospital at 3 in the morning. He's Jason Kendall, former baseball All-Star. Great to see you. I appreciate you and your wife coming in. And
Good to see you again, too.
And if you are watching, you can, in the live look-in, we'll see how to make that play around the plate. And we'll try to run over Jason Kendall.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But I get the ball in my hand first, right?
And if you want to pop somebody in the jaw, you can. We're back after this in the Dan Patrick Show. So what's the one thing that we have to know if we're around in third heading home?
If you're around in third heading home and it's a bang-bang play,
Yeah.
and I'm and it is a bang-bang play, I don't care about the ball.
Here to the chop?
I'm going, oh, yeah. But if I get the ball in time, I hold it in my hand. So now, you see the difference?
Yeah.
You got a baseball right to your jaw.
What should I be doing?
You're not going to be eating. Well, if I do this, you're not going to be eating. You'll be out of a straw.
Right.
Out of mud.
So you're intentionally aiming for his head?
If I have time, yeah, because they won't do it again.
What about
But
coming
there's
in,
no plays like this anymore.
like coming in feet first versus head first?
Head first. If you're coming in head first, even today, which obviously you can because there's not. I'm dropping on your hands or your you're breaking something.
Yeah, something's.
I'm going to hit you with the hide.
Yeah. and if you come in feet first though, are you
Feet first. You doesn't matter. You're going to get
like this?
collision-wise. You're going to get if you show part of the plate.
Yeah.
They should be sliding. Bottom.
But do you intentionally show part of the plate to give them, to let them know that if they want to go, they got to go a little bit this way?
And that's what you're supposed to do. Now, like I said, now you don't have that fear anymore.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.